You know, in the absolute pressure cooker of the NCAA tournament, a game isn't always just won by a team. Sometimes it's seized. It's taken over by one player who just decides, nope, we are not losing today, and puts the entire team on their back. Today, we're diving into a March Madness showdown that became a legendary one-man show. So you look at this final score, right? UCLA 57, UConn 73. A 16-point win for UConn, pretty solid. But that score, man, it just doesn't tell you the real story. It doesn't tell you how one single player completely broke the will of a storied program and punched his team's ticket to the Sweet 16.
All right, so let's set the stage here. This was a classic matchup between two absolute giants of college basketball.
So we're in Philly. It's the second round of the NCAA tournament, and the stakes, they literally could not be higher. You've got UConn, you've got UCLA. These two programs have 15 national titles between them, and for both of them, it is win or your season is over. It's in these moments, in this kind of environment, where legends are made.
Okay, now before we get to the main event, let's take a quick look at the numbers, because the stat sheet kind of gives you the clues, right? It shows you how UConn was building this foundation of control long before the takeover really began.
Now check this out. Both teams took the exact same number of shots from the field, 49. But look at the percentages. UConn shot 47%, UCLA only 39. That's a huge 8-point difference. In a do-or-die tournament game, that kind of efficiency is everything. Every basket was just worth more for the Huskies. And this right here, this might be the single most important stat of the entire game. A 12-rebound advantage for UConn, 36-24. They just completely owned the glass. They were suffocating UCLA, limiting them to one shot, while they were getting second, sometimes third chances to score. That is just pure physical dominance.
So here's what's so interesting. UConn was actually a little sloppier with the ball. You see, they had 16 turnovers, but they made up for it big time where it really counted. I mean, look at that free throw percentage, a nearly perfect 90%. And the largest lead stat just tells the story, doesn't it? UCLA's biggest lead was just 6 points, probably early on. UConn built up a 16-point lead and just sat on it. UCLA was never really in this thing.
Okay, so the stats tell us what happened, but now we get to the who. This is the exact moment where the game goes from a solid, impressive team win to a personal highlight reel that people will talk about for years.
Just let that headline sink in for a second. It doesn't say UConn advances. It says Karaban scores 27 points and sends UConn back to the Sweet 16. When the AP puts your name and your name alone as the reason for the win, you know you just had the game of your life.
27 points. He was the game's leading scorer by a mile. Nobody else was even close. This wasn't just a good game for him. This was a statement. This was him on one of the biggest stages in college basketball, simply refusing to let his team go home.
And this chart really puts it in perspective. Alex Karaban scored over a third of his team's total points all by himself. I mean, look at that huge slice of the pie. In a game where every basket is critical, one guy shouldered that much of the scoring load, and he delivered. And what about under pressure? When the lights are brightest, he was perfect. 100% from the free throw line, 5 for 5. So when UCLA got desperate and had to foul at the end, Karaban just calmly stepped to the line and made them pay. Every single time. That's just having ice in your veins. Now, you can't have a performance like that in a vacuum. While Karaban was putting on a scoring clinic, we gotta give a huge shout out to his teammate, Tarris Jr. He was the muscle inside, pulling down 13 of those rebounds. That tough, gritty work on the glass is what created all the extra chances that fueled Karaban's masterpiece.
So how did he do it? There was this incredible stretch in the game where Alex Karaban just went supernova. He single-handedly grabbed the game by the throat and ripped it away from UCLA. Let's walk through that absolutely game-breaking run right now.
It starts with force, a powerful 2-foot dunk. He's attacking the rim. He's sending a message, I'm coming at you and you can't stop me. Then, next possession, he steps outside. Bang! A smooth 23-foot three-pointer. Now the defense has no idea what to do. Do you play up on him? Do you sag off to protect the rim? He's making you guess. And then this is pure hustle. He follows a teammate's miss, crashes the boards, and gets the easy tip in. These are the plays that absolutely break a team's spirit. He's not just out-shooting them, he's out-working them.
And this one, oh man, this was the dagger. A deep, deep three-pointer from 29 feet out, just way downtown. At this point, it's over. UCLA has no answer. He's scoring at the rim, from mid-range, from deep. That shot wasn't just 3 points, that was the sound of the game ending.
And after a performance like that, well, the result was never in doubt. UConn wasn't just winning this game, they were making a statement and marching on.
And there it is again, 73-57, a 16-point victory that honestly felt like 30, all thanks to one unforgettable takeover.
So when you boil it all down, what's the takeaway? It was an absolute masterclass from Alex Karaban, built on a foundation of his team just physically dominating the boards, and it all added up to a huge victory that sent the Huskies to the next round. So it kind of leaves you with this question, right? Basketball is a team sport, but then you see a game like this, and you have to wonder, can one player's sheer force of will, their absolute refusal to lose, completely change the outcome? Well, on that night in Philadelphia, the answer was a resounding yes.